Good evening. It's what is it? Monday. Whew, the 20th. Monday the 20th. Okay. So last night I was supposed to go to bed early, and then I found this pot that needed attention right away. And by attention, I meant it was a little too thick down here, and which also meant that if I'm going to trim that, I can always find some clay to remove here. And some people prefer a foot ring. And then I was able to use one of these tools to do a decorative band around the middle, which I enjoy doing because, of course, it's mysterious then how the handle gets put on without this getting in the way. And anyway, they're fun. I also use my traditional screw head stamp so people know that the handles are on firmly. Anyway, so that was last night's. I still have 4 more. Now, one of the things about being a part-time potter is that things don't always get done as quickly as if you were a full-time potter. In fact, they rarely get done as quickly as if you were a full-time potter, because you keep getting interrupted. Which means you learn how to use plastic, and you learn how to check in on things. Okay, so I'm going to go over what I'm doing here. Okay, so this is the big loop tool, and these are still, flexible. So I've got marks from the pot lifters. These are pot lifters. Some of you have commented in the past that you've seen them in the shop but not seen anyone use them. Okay, so these are the marks that get left. And, they're not severe, but some potters don't like having these marks and prefer just, picking up the pot with their hands. Okay, well, that's their way. I prefer not having my hand prints on the pots. So, okay, so I've taken the bulk with the loop tool, and now I'm just smoothing with my thumb. And then I still want, okay, even though this is a flat bottom, I still want it cupped a bit upward so that it'll ride the rim. The last thing I want is for it to bow the other way, and then it's some sort of rocking toy. Okay. Depending on how much clay I have in this corner, I will sometimes, you may have noticed, dimple it. Maybe a medieval potter probably would have pinched it all the way around, but the pots that were done like that I've seen in the museums, the results are kind of vicious. I'm pretty sure that medieval potters really didn't care if the bottoms of their pots left marks on tables. I think that was probably just considered normal. Or maybe potters hated furniture makers, I don't know. Okay. So that's my much more benign way of mimicking those sorts of medieval bottoms. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm lucky enough I have a short last name. But whatever whatever mark you put on the bottom, try to make it something legible. Because at some point in the future, someone's going to look at the bottom of that pot and go, "Do you know who made this?" And it'd be nice if it was obvious. Okay. So another theory I have about medieval pots is that if they used them to drink anything warm, they were grateful for the warmth, and so would have held them like that. In the museums, the handles I've seen have not been big loopy handles, and by loopy I mean, like that. That sort of a big handle is really a function of us loading coffee mugs with very hot coffee. So when I do a medieval looking mug with a big handle like that, I'm more or less intentionally being anachronistic, because I know it's not the sort of look I would ever find in a museum. So, the bigger handles too are more fragile, because it's just easier to get leverage on them that would result in breakage. So, okay, so I'm running out of time, but I'll show you what I did. Okay, so I made a bit of clay, more or less the shape of a really fat tongue. Attached it to the rim where I intentionally have a thicker wall. Okay, if you try this with a very thin rim, the process will tear up the rim. Okay, and now it's pretty much just like any of you would have been taught how to throw a handle, except instead of it being with a big old knob of clay separate from the pot, it's just the clay you need, and it's already on the pot. So it takes a little bit of finesse with the offhand, because you don't want to be squeezing it all out around, just trying to keep track of it. Okay, but it has the advantage that you can then just sort of gauge it and go, well, how much curve do I want? Where do I want it to go? And if you don't like it, you can cut it off. You get 2 tries, maybe 3 tries from the same spot. And if you ruin the whole mug, trying for a 4th perfect handle, well, maybe that was just a practice mug. Okay. And then usually I put some kind of a stamp at the base. Makes it a little stronger, but it also helps with that whole issue of making them one of a kind, so their owners can keep track of them at parties. Have a good evening.